Go to Damn real quick.
We can. I got my notes right here. I found them.
Okay. Let's go song for song, man. I wasn't even planning on doing this today, but I was like, you know what? We might as well do it. Damn starts off really strong. Because I know when I first heard DNA, I was like, whoa, this is
So,
what we doing?
so this is what I mean. There are more fives on the first half of Damn than there are on all of this entire double album to me. But we
Okay,
can
so
get.
what are you rating DNA on a scale from 1 to 5?
That's a five. That's one of his best mic performances.
DNA's heavy.
Is
DNA's
it not?
heavy.
Hold on. Is it not expressing black themes and motifs and archetypes, but still snapping?
Yeah.
That's that's what I'm talking about. No, he knows how to do this.
What
Like
about
he can.
Ya?
Ya's the weakest song on the first half of the album. I gave it a 3.5.
Okay. All right, Element. I like Element a lot.
Five.
Element's a 5.
Yeah. What's
Okay.
wrong with that record?
Not much.
Right, because he has the buy-in. Even his mama was singing it. If I gotta go hard, I'm gonna make it look sexy. Right.
Yeah, if it gotta
Buy-in.
go on, yeah. I pull
They gonna
up,
take
hop
that.
out, air out, make it look. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Elements tight.
Right.
You know, I like the production in
It
Hook
is.
Element more than I like his actual verses though.
And his verses are hard.
Yeah, they
That's
are.
what I'm saying. Elements of five. Yeah.
Elements of 5. Okay, Phil. I already know the answer to that. I think Phil's one of his more impressive mic performances. Period.
I
Period.
think it
To
might
me.
be his most impressive mic performance beginning to end.
Yeah. Yeah, Phil, I'll go back and listen to Phil over and over again,
Five.
and I think that the production on Phil is just so dope. It reminds me of
Five.
some Dungeon Family shit, honestly.
Five. Yes, very even in darkness-ish beat-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loyalty.
Five. I actually thought this was a 4.5, but the way that this record is actually held up, I think
Loyalty's
this
dope. Yeah.
Loyalty actually I think is a better single than All Right. I do.
I think so too.
I think the beat's better. I think
I
the
think it is
message.
too. You know, Rihanna sounds really good on that hook too.
She does. They sound. I was actually thinking it makes me wish they did more records together. They sound great together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope record. Pride.
Hold on. Let's stop for a second before we go any further.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. It's already got 4 fives. That's why when people are like, "This is a classic," I was like, "Man, I'm not even sure it's better than Damn." The first half of Damn's better than the entire like project.
Damn starts off very, very strong.
It ends really strong too. That's what I'm saying. So, Pride, I gave a 3.5 to. I wasn't
Okay.
impressed with
I wasn't a
Pride.
big fan of Pride like that either.
Mhm.
Humble.
I gave it a 4, but on a personal level, probably a 3.5. But
I'm
it's
not
a
a big
4.
fan of Humble either.
Me neither.
Yeah.
If you want to give it a 3.5, I'm okay with that actually.
Okay, 3.5 for Humble. Even though it's a big hit, and I know people in here are gonna say, "Oh, it did all this numbers, whatever." Lust.
I gave that a 4 out of 5.
Uh, what about Love?
That's a 5.
That's a 5. That
A
might
5.
be the
That's what I'm
song that I
saying.
played
Are
the
you
most on
hearing?
this
Are
album.
you hearing how many
Yeah.
fives are on
Yeah.
this album that have replay value? Hold on, listen. The fives on this album have replay value. They have buy-in. They have him lyrically strong. They have great content and subject matter. What's wrong with that?
Somebody said Humble's better than Loyalty. I don't know, man. I never was a big fan of Humble like that. You know, Humble's better than King Kunta.
Yeah, that's not saying a whole
No,
lot.
it's not. I'm just saying, like, he's not really those first traditional style singles. That's not his lane like that. Like,
No, it's not what he does well.
no,
But
it's
but
not.
that's
Because
okay.
even when he dropped "I" from "To Pimp a Butterfly" before the live version made it on the album, it was getting lukewarm, reception. And
You
when
may
I
not
listen to
remember.
the regular, it's not that good of a record. But
Do you remember when you and me were texting about hearing the original record? You remember you sent me that, right?
I don't even remember that. What
And
happened? What did I say?
been so long ago. It's been so long ago. I
Right.
think it's been 7 years since you sent me that song. You sent me the original version. You were like, I don't know about this, Coop. And you sent it to me, and I listened to it, and I was like, you ain't tripping. I don't know about it either. I'm like, what is he doing? I'm like, that's how he's following up Good Kid, Mad City. I'm like, he is bugging. I was like, you and I both said, this ain't going to cut it. And then the live version came out, and we were like, Yeah.
You know, again, genius move. The fact that they put the live version on there, and the point of the album that they put it on was genius too. You talk about the Outkast comparisons and his the influence the Outkast has on him. I think To Pimp a Butterfly is very Akumani-esque, and I
Yes.
think that the original I was kind of Rosa Parks ish in
But it wasn't done
structure,
well.
but it wasn't.
You
No,
want,
no, no, no.
you want to know what To Pimp a Butterfly? And I wrote this in my original review of it. It really is like, or I may have done a post about it on social media. It really is the rhetoric of It Takes a Nation of Millions with the soundscape of Quim.
Mm-hmm. Coop, you there? You breaking up a little bit?
Would you go out?
Huh?
Okay.
Did I go out or
Yeah.
back? Okay, yeah, we back.
Yeah, so it just doesn't replay as well as Aquemini. Definitely doesn't replay as well as It Takes a Nation of Millions.
No, no.
That album about as old as we are, Mike.
That album's old and it's incredible. I think that
1980.
album created the social conscious hip hop lane.
No, that lane exists. I think no. I think hip hop has always been a socially conscious lane. I think that is the pinnacle of it.
It doubled down.
Yeah,
It wasn't like,
pinnacle.
look, I'm gonna make one or two songs about this.
No,
We about to go all the way in on this.
Man, I was thinking like, nobody tried to kill Chuck D for talking about Farrakhan like this in '88. I'm like, okay.
XXX.
4 out of 5.
Okay, I wasn't a big fan of that song really.
That's one of those things where the theme and everything that's put together behind it kind of carried it over that 3.5 because I'm not big on it either. But here's one thing. This is the record where I realized on Damn, everything on Damn is either a 5 or damn near a 3.5. It's like he either knocks it all the way out the park or you're like, it's just good. Yeah. But he knocks it out the park a whole lot.
Ryan Gillum says To Pimp a Butterfly sounds more like D'Angelo's album, The Black Messiah. I like that album a lot.
I like The
Black Messiah. That shit was underrated as hell.
I thought it was might be the best R&B album that year. Till It's Done is like one of my all-time favorite records.
That's a dope album, man.
It is.
What about Fear?
Fear I gave a 4.75 to. Fear is beautiful.
Oh, man, you went all the way in the percentiles on that one. I thought we were just...
I mean, we can give it a 4.5 if you want. I don't want to go all the way to 5 to it because it's not as good as the other 5s on here, which is DNA, Feel, Element, Loyalty, and Love. It's not that, but it's the next step down.
This is the thing, though, and I think this is what separates Mr. Morale from this for me. I think as a writer, if he got another crack at Feel, based on the writer that he is on this album, Feel's even that much more impressive.
You mean Fear or Feel?
Feel. I'm sorry, Fear. Excuse me.
Fear. Okay, so here's Fear. What I would submit to you. Because of that in-depthness that you're talking about, well, DNA would suffer. Element would suffer. Feel would suffer. Loyalty would suffer.
It's a sliding scale, right?
Right. All the other 5s would suffer for this one 5, and so I don't agree with that. Being a better writer doesn't mean that you're a better MC. This is the proof, is what I'm saying. Because he's a better writer on Mr. Morale, but he's just brilliant enough as a writer and great enough as an MC and connecting with how he is putting these hip-hop songs together on Damn, that even though I think the Damn is still better, but we can go ahead and finish up because I got one more 5 to get to on.
DeCarlo says Fear is a 5, definitely better than Love and Loyalty.
See, and a lot of people feel that way, and if you feel that way, I understand why. I just don't think it connects the way Love and Loyalty does. All right.
You're talking about from a song format, and I know we're really big on that. I know I am. God.
How can we be big on albums and not be big on the songs that create the album?
I agree.
Right. God, I got a 4.5.
4.5. Duckworth.
5.
You giving Duckworth a 5? All right.
Yeah, Duckworth's a 5. Duckworth's one of the best rap stories ever, Mike. So he's got, in my opinion, on this album, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 6 5s and possibly 7 if you believe in Fear like that. Mr. Moran and Big Steppers don't have that, and it's 18 tracks.
So we got DNA 5. You got 3.5. We got Element 5. Feel 5. Loyalty 5. Pride 3.5. Humble 3.5. Lust 4. Love 5. XXX 4. Fear 4.5. God 4.5. And Duckworth 5.
Yes. That's 6 5s out of how many songs? What, 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hitting the mark. He's connecting like a motherfucker.